I have been asked several times about where to start with automations and what actually moves the needle for businesses. So I want to talk about that. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 automations I recommend you set up today, and it actually helped me and do a ton of heavy lifting in my business. So let's jump into it. First one has to do with making sure that when somebody fills out an inquiry on my website, they're responded to nearly immediately. So I wanted to pull up the exact numbers, but studies report, I think it was Harvard. Where does it say that? Yes, Harvard Business Review has found that you are 391% more likely to close a deal if you respond to prospects within the first 5 minutes. So, I mean, that's what, 21 times more likely. So, I mean, you definitely need to be doing this, okay? So I've got this worked out where I got my website right here. The type form's all the way at the bottom. I just pre-charged it. I'm going to submit the request. Submitted. So how this works is we get a webhook. So when this form is received, this here collects the information from that type form, and then I wait 3 minutes. Reason being nothing more than just to make it seem a little more natural, right? The best automations don't look like automations. So this is going to wait 3 minutes, making it plausible that I'm just getting to it, right? And it's going to send an internal notification and a notification to the prospect just saying, hey, just get into this. Let me take a minute to review it and I'll get back to you, that kind of thing. I'll show you what it looks like right here. So it says, hey, just got your request, reviewing now. Just saw your request came through for content automation and intake management system. I'm currently on the road, but I'll take a closer look shortly and circle back. Looking forward to diving in. Thanks, Eric. So that, again, seems pretty natural. We just submitted it. I ran this before because it takes, 15 minutes for the workflow to go through. So anyway, once that first notification is done, we wait another 12 minutes. Again, makes it look like you're taking a bit of time to actually see what it is they want. Then I've got conditional logic in terms of qualification. Qualification is huge. So I've already agreed that I will pre-qualify anybody over a certain threshold. All right. If their budget is like 5,000 and up, I'll be like, all right, I'll give it a look. So then I send a Calendly link with this email saying, I think we're a good fit. Let's jump on a call together, see how we can work together. But there's still some projects under $5,000 that, of course, I will consider. So I have a basic LLM chain with some more qualification sort of logic there too. If it's like a quick CRM build or they want a landing page, things like that, and if it's under $5,000, I'll say, yeah, let's jump on a call and talk about what you need, right? The system's made me probably, 391% more money than if I didn't have it in place, right? According to studies. So just put it into perspective, okay? Say you're looking for a cleaner, or let's stick with cleaners. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. Anyway, so you're looking for a cleaner, you Google cleaners in your local area, right? You go down, you check the first one. You're not going to keep calling if the first one picks up the phone, right? No, I found my cleaner. So it's the same thing here, where the prospect is immediately reassured that you're on top of this because you're replying really quickly. You reviewed their request and it's all qualified. You're ready to rock. Even though you didn't write that email directly, you're still going to follow up whenever you have a minute. But they are confident in your ability to take care of them and that you're somebody that's a serious person. Yeah, that's 100% something you should implement today if you don't already have a system in place for this sort of thing. So moving on, number 2, very exciting, is my email management system. It doesn't sound very exciting, but this absolutely saves my bacon. Actually improved my productivity by probably orders of magnitude. Okay. So what I do when I'm working is I got the headphones, I got the, everything, my notifications on my phone are off. I don't know if you noticed, but I got sound dampening curtains, like I'm in the zone, right? So I don't see or hear pretty much anything. So when something important comes in, it pushes to the one channel that I do keep open so that I can address it in a timely sort of manner. The next thing is any sort of these important emails are classified as such. And I've got a model writing a draft for me so I can just edit a draft or just quickly send it and reply to these really important inquiries without too much context switching, right? Everything else is just labeled and cleans up my inbox quite a bit. I can, check out any sort of finance stuff or whatever, right? Without digging in too much. So again, it's just kind of one of those things that works constantly under the hood that you don't notice until it's gone. This went down. My self-hosted service went down for a little bit and I noticed it immediately when my inbox, I didn't see my labels and I was really sad. So anyway, bit of a tangent. It's a lot of words just to say that this has been an amazing addition to my tool stack and has really, really helped my focus. And I don't have to worry about, the same sort of thing where you have an alarm and you're just waiting for the alarm. I can turn this off and I know that I'm still safe because I'll get the important emails pushed to my channels. Okay. So the next workflow that is, again, sort of boring, but has saved so much time and made me look like, a serious professional is the onboarding workflow here. So essentially when you close a deal, what you do is you go to the form, you just upload the scope of the job or the proposal, whatever you and the client agreed to this form here. And then it goes through and completes all the basic onboarding tasks that usually take a significant amount of time if you're doing it yourself, right? It creates a shared drive folder for, you and the client to share files. It creates a folder you can ClickUp, or I usually use Notion, but it gets it set up so that the client has a shared space that they can see with you, leave notes, just kind of check progress, all that stuff. And the beauty is this here adds all of your onboarding tasks and builds a checklist in whatever tool you're using, right? So it builds your onboarding checklist, creates a Slack channel, sends the welcome email with all of that in 3 minutes, maybe tops, right? Actually, probably way less than like whatever. Very, very fast. So the amount of confidence that this instills in the prospect as well is huge. And this is one of those things that it doesn't look like it's a big deal, but I mean, the difference between sending payment and, you know, getting an onboarding thing or a kickoff call a couple days later and getting your onboarding done and a Calendly link to book a kickoff call within like 5-10 minutes is huge, right? People want some sort of tangible item as soon as their money leaves hands. You know what I mean? It's something that again just makes it feel real, and people can be a little bit more confident in their decisions, and you look like a boss. So those are the 3 workflows I recommend you build first and get going like today if you haven't already. Huge quality of life improvements and definitely revenue drivers, right? Like making 391% more likely to close deals. Like you need to do that. It's a must. Plus the amount of confidence that your prospects get when their onboarding is done and all this stuff is created and shared with them immediately, you look like a winner. And then it's up to you to mess it up essentially, right? Like you start off on the right foot, and it's just so much operational leverage, not just operationally, but like sales leverage. Now I'm rambling. Anyway, those are the first 3, but I'm going to sprinkle in some other quality of life improvements that I've noticed make a huge difference as well. So I've talked about it before, but this is my personal assistant that I've got tied into every other platform that I use. Okay. Gmail, my CRM, contacts, Notion, like just top to bottom, anything that I do within my business can be reached through my Telegram bot. And that looks like this. I've got it pinned here on my browser, but as I've set up my OBS, you can't see it when I click it. So anyway, there's a tab in my browser that opens up and you can see this Telegram bot that I've pinned here. And anything I want to do through any of those platforms, I can simply use a voice note to prompt, or I can dictate, you know, book a meeting with Ron, book Ferry to get across it. Like it's insane. So much leverage, and I don't have to leave this window. I don't have to log into Google. I don't have to go to Calendar. I don't have to do anything like that. It'd be like send a calendar invite, do all that stuff directly through Telegram. Okay. So having one pane of glass and like everything accessible through one window makes life incredibly easy. The next thing that makes life easy, let me show you here, is using voice dictation software instead of actually typing. Okay. So I've gotten into the habit of using voice notes, but what I've done is I downloaded Aqua Voice at the request of an acquaintance here, and it's made an incredible difference. My God. So you just double tap. Can you send Eric at Easy Machine an email asking if he's booked the ferry? Right. And then it populates there. Send. People type at 60 words a minute, and you speak on average at about 160 words a minute. Maybe I'm a little faster. I don't know. It's the ADHD, right? Anything else I can help you with? Send an email. Do you see how easy that is? And when it's tagged in the browser like this, I can just go and I don't even have to like look up, right? Plus all my important notifications come in through here as well. Nothing crazy. So Aqua Voice, huge, huge thing. The personal assistant with the Telegram, huge, huge thing. And I also recommend swapping over to Opera browser so that you can pin all of these apps just in the one window, and you don't have to like bounce around or anything. It's about eliminating as many button clicks as humanly possible to make sure that your job becomes seamless. You can just get to work and not have to worry about all of the wasted clicks and time and effort in logging into whatever. Anyway, you get the idea. So if you're wondering about where to start with automations or what actually works for people and what's desirable, try and get as close to the revenue as possible, right? So the first one you should absolutely implement is one of those follow-up agents like I showed you off the top with my website, okay? You need that. If you do nothing else, do that, okay? All this stuff, all of these workflows will be linked below in my school community, so I encourage you to join. Come say hi, come hang out. There's also courses on, you know, generative AI, lovable.dev. There's all sorts of cool stuff down there, but we mostly talk about how to use these sorts of things and put them into everybody's hands, make the world a better place, and make yourself some money while you're at it. So hope you enjoy. If you want to know how to build an agent like the personal assistant, I've got a video walking through how to do that right here. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next one.